Good evening and welcome to Chit Chat with two T's. And I am your host, J'elle Valdez, Counselling Psychologist by profession and serving as your wonderful host today. And I'm here with the mental health actual factuals as we speak with my specially invited guest today, Dr. Gina Noel-Romilly, physiotherapy therapist and owner of Physio Connect Limited. Welcome, Gina.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. You look beautiful. You look beautiful as usual. Look a little extra something today. Thanks. I'm going to say you did that for me. So thanks.
I did 100%. You deserve the best of me. So I showed up for you. Yeah.
And that's why I'll keep you. Gina is my dear friend of many, many years. Since secondary school days, and she just will not leave me alone. So I decided I'll keep her. But beyond being my friend, beyond being my friend and a physiotherapist, I thought it would be good for Gina to probably tell us a little bit about herself.
I have to do that?
Everybody's favorite question.
Yeah. I am Gina. I am a Jenny of all trades. I am a mommy. I am a professional, a wife, a daughter, a caretaker, a friend, a poet, a singer, an interior designer, a dancer, like all sorts of stuff. It's a lot of stuff, but basically I am all of that and also introverted and also quiet and meek in private moments. But I guess I'm a bit of a conundrum.
One that I appreciate dearly. Thank you.
I appreciate it too.
We have to be here for our listeners and viewers. So before we actually get into the meat of the matter, I got this idea from my good friend Kivan. Thanks, Kivan. It's going to be my icebreaker. So I don't know how clearly you can see the screen. You have 7 seconds to connect chocolate to boss. You ready?
Okay,
go.
Something. Girl boss, chocolate lover.
Ping, 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 ping.
Lover girl, chocolate lover girl boss.
Yay! Did it! We hear the ping ping from executive producer Ricardo in the background, pretending to be the timer.
Ping.
But you did it! Yay!
I got the
Chocolate lover girl boss, because that is us, right? That's the two of us, right? So I thought it would be cute to do that. Because we're both chocolate lovers and we're both girl bosses and you love me. So there you go.
I do. That was awesome.
So, I know, right?
And it gave me feel really smart.
Yay! Thank you, Kivan. And as we move forward, today's episode as we discuss our mental health matters is actually sponsored by Marley Coffee, which I see you have predominantly displayed in the background there. Thank you. And I have mine as well. It's some good stuff. And that actually leads us to our first segment. It's beautiful. Look at you. You are a model. It leads us to our first segment, which is what's in your cup. And today, because I try to have a different cup, my cup is courtesy my good friend Luan, and the quality she has there is, I think, it's faithfulness, because she said that's the quality she sees in me. So in my cup today, I know, right? Thanks, Luan. In my cup today is Marley Coffee, and I am not a coffee person per se. Coffee actually makes me sleep, weirdly enough. And I am trying this Marley Coffee for the first time. And it is all types of amazing. It smells good. I brewed it on the stove because I'm not into coffee, so I don't have a coffee maker. But I brewed it on the stove. It smelled amazing. And it tastes really good. Like I'm not just saying that it actually tastes good, and I'm not a coffee person. That might also account for why my energy is a little bit higher right now, but we leave that. We leave that there. So Gina, what's in your cup today?
Your energy is high without
This is true. So maybe this wasn't a good idea.
Because we're doing 2 teas. I got my coffee too, and it's taken me back to all my UV Jamaica days and all of that Blue Mountain goodness.
Oh.
So thank you for the
Yay! And do you typically drink coffee?
I never used to drink coffee that much, like once in a while, and then I decided to try a keto thing, and they have this keto coffee, and since then I've been pretty much hooked. So I have a cup a day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, a cup isn't too bad. That's good. And what does it do for you?
It keeps me full, and it gives me energy. So the keto coffee has whatever coffee you like, and it has good fats. So I make it with coconut milk and coconut oil.
Okay.
Sometimes ghee, but I kind of moved away from the ghee. I think the coconut oil and milk is really good. So it gives you a nice rich taste. Yeah.
I've heard about this keto, and I said I have to try it. I have to try, but I'm yet to.
I fell off the keto wagon though, but there are elements of it that I really enjoyed. So I still utilize them. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And so now we know what's in your cup, literally. What's figuratively in your cup? What's going on with you?
Girl, a whole heap, it's just about these days balancing all the different hats that I'm wearing. So I'm a mommy of 3, so you're doing that, balancing the house, balancing work, then balancing business, and all of the other little things in between. So there's a lot in my cup right now, which I'm thankful for. But to whom much is given, much is expected, right? So sometimes it gets a bit overwhelming, but we handling it.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. And, that is a lot that you mentioned. There's a lot of hats to wear. Do you feel that you're managing okay?
Of course not.
It's always the honesty for me.
Ooh, of course not. I mean, like when it was the day before, I had a meltdown because my kids threw powder all over the floor and I had to clean twice. It was bad. It was really bad. But I think as I'm going and I'm adding a little bit more, there are a lot of layers. So bit by bit, I've been adding things to my plate. No, I don't have it seamless. I think it's still a work in progress, trying to find that balance, that best balance. And it's so dynamic because every day something changes. So some days I feel like, yep, I've got it. And some days, nope. So we'll try again tomorrow.
And I love that. It's okay to try again tomorrow.
Yes.
It's okay. I think sometimes, especially as professionals and women, we feel like we can't try again tomorrow. Like the fact that we didn't get it right now, because we do place a lot of pressure on ourselves. And I'm saying we and ourselves because I do it too. How do you manage that? Because you have to be you for you, but you also have to be you for all those other things you mentioned previously. You have to be you for the 3 children. You have to be you for your husband. You have to be you in your business. How do you find you in there and then enough you to be you for all those other aspects?
Well, I think that's the center. Like, at the end of the day, I think I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to be able to own all of the different parts of me. There are some hats that I think are a little bit I'm better at. So work is one. Like, I'm really good at my job. I love my job. Opening up the business now and having to do that and pouring passion into that and energy into that. That actually helps balance me in the other parts, the personal parts. So I put all my energy and my frustration sometimes and my sadness and my happiness and my joy into what I'm passionate about. And that balances out the things that I don't feel that I'm too good at, like probably parenting.
I think you're a little hard on yourself with that, but I can also understand that that's how it feels for you.
Yeah, but I think too, with, as you were saying, there are these voices in your head, and we are always critics. I think a lot of the times I look at my parenting style and I may compare myself to my mom, and she was like that woman
Super mom.
with the S on her chest. Yeah, she made it look pretty easy. When you come in forward now, you would hear all the stories and the stresses, and you probably see some of the effects of what she would have gone through before now. But I think sometimes I tell myself, maybe you should have pushed a little bit more today to be better engaging with the kids and having the house in a particular order. In my head, those standards are there and I'm trying to meet it. But most of the times, because of being able to spread myself in so many different ways, it doesn't get done. What I'm trying to do now is to lessen that amount of tension and load that I'm putting on myself and be a little bit more gentle with myself and grace. Offer myself and grace.
Yes.
So it doesn't feel like woe is me and the world is coming down on me. It will just be, as I said earlier, we'll get it done tomorrow.
That's beautiful. I think sometimes we do forget to be gentle with ourselves and to be patient with ourselves, because this is a process for us too. So thanks for sharing that. And that moves us into our next segment, because you're dealing with so much and you have so many things on your plate. What boiled your water recently? What is making your kettle whistle? What is upsetting you or is a pet peeve? Because part of mental health is also expressing what frustrates us. So what's been going on with you?
It's so interesting because when I hear what boil my water, the first thing I'm thinking is like passion. Yeah.
Yes.
But you know what? Colorism is really boiling my water.
Do tell.
Yeah. The whole stereotypical red woman syndrome, the whole I love Venezuelans, power to the Venezuelans, but I'm not one. So feeling like if I'm isolated in my own country irritates me sometimes.
Are people really coming to you and asking if you're Venezuelan or calling you a Veni? A term which I hate, by the way.
Yeah, actually, yes. So people come up to me and speak Spanish, expecting me to speak Spanish in return. That actually is not the biggest issue for me. The biggest issue for me is how we, as Trini people, respond to these Venezuelan people. So I think I've been able to get a dual look at how they may feel in terms of the objectivity or the objectifying of the woman. And other than that, just, you're in a strange person's land and they may feel like, you're encroaching upon space. So I had a really interesting experience when I had my daughter. One of the nurses gave over that I was a Venezuelan.
Just like that.
And I was like, no, I'm not. But there were 3 others around me. So that bugs me in terms of not necessarily being mistaken for one, but the treatment behind it. Because at the end of the day, we are all people.
Yeah.
If you cut them, I'm blood red, and if you cut you, your blood red, and if you cut them, your blood is red. So that is my pet peeve. That and the whole rendition of the red woman syndrome.
I mean, both very important points. And I can't tell you how many memes I've seen about red woman and I didn't feel the earthquake because after my experience with a red woman, I'm numb and all these things. Yeah, there's a lot. Alluding to these troubles that red women quote unquote give. But I mean, how do you feel about that one in particular?
It's offensive, to say the least. But I think after a while, I started to just kind of get comfortable in my skin, regardless of the good and bad in it. There are bad apples that spoil a lot. Such is the story of the human race, right? So it doesn't really matter if I'm a little lighter or I'm a little darker. It doesn't really matter. At this point, if people decide that they want to be mean, I am kind of okay in myself now, but it took a while. It took a very, very long time. Because in terms of that too, you have to look at the layers of, people treating you differently. And the elevation as well as the degradation is a two-sided coin.
Right. Yeah. I was actually going to ask about that because for all the memes there are about, red woman bad, quote unquote, we also know that in this country, there are lots of people who that's the prize, right? Your aim is to have a red woman with curly hair, So how do you feel about that aspect of it? Because also, even in that setting, it's not like people are trying to get to know you. There are preconceived notions when they see you. How do you feel about that?
Again, it's disturbing. Come a long way. I remember as a child, like I have a cousin. She has the most beautiful chocolate skin. Her name is Andrea. Hi, Andrea. If you listen to this.
Hey, Andrea.
And my grand used to call us milk and coffee.
Oh.
Because we're 2 months apart, and she used to dress us alike. But I used to look at this girl and literally, like, she used to look like a Barbie to me. Like, I call you Barbie, and it's the same kind of feeling that I get. And I thought she was stunning and beautiful. But the fact of the matter is that I was, appreciated differently.
Right.
Because it was lighter. And I felt that little shift, and I felt the disparity from very small. So it always made me feel uncomfortable being lighter. My siblings are darker than I am. My parents are darker than I am. So it's difficult sometimes to even swallow when somebody would say, "Oh, so you mixed?" And I'm like, "No, I'm Negro."
Right. The confusion on the face.
The confusion on the face, and then have people literally quarrel with me because you're mixed. You're not Negro. How you could say Negro? But I love the fact that my family is very diverse. I love the fact that we are all shades. I love being Black.
You better.
If I go elsewhere, that's what I am.
One drop rule, the one drop
There we
rule.
go. And I'm just hoping that at some point in time we get to the point where everybody could be inclusive and on the same page no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're Black or white. Michael saying. Sorry.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's super important that you said that. I actually never knew that you dealt with that in all the years of our friendship. I must say you are one of my friends who always talk about, my chocolatey goodness, and you call me Chocolate Barbie, and you always do something to kind of elevate that for me, because I have had issues in terms of my complexion and growing up and feeling less than, and looking at my friends who would have been in relationships, and especially in my teenage years and early adulthood, and seeing that they were all lighter than me and wondering, is it because of my complexion? So it is, interesting to me to hear you say now that, like there's actually not such a good spin on that, and how you're perceived, and what comes with that in terms of your self-perception. So thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Yeah, oh my God, we're just like breaking ground here. This is amazing. We're going deep.
No, there are some things I think too that needs to be said, and I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah.
And that's why I keep you around. One of the reasons, the main reason, is that you call me Chocolate Barbie and hype me up. But yeah. and ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing any background, that is Ralph making his appearance as usual. My dog recording at home. Yeah. Shout out to Ralph, that some people come for apparently. Anyway, so this moves us down the road into our next segment, which is your mental health. So how would you describe your mental health currently? You better get some adjectives up in there, girl.
My mental health is sound today.
Right.
It's sound today. Sometimes I even ask, like, what is mental health, J'elle? Like, the phrase is, I find it's getting power and movement recently. And I like the fact that we're moving away from mental health being like conditions, labels.
Right.
And so in my mind, like right now I'm focusing on mental well-being. That's my personal little catchphrase.
Yeah.
Because as I said, with all of the things that I have to do, all of the things that are on my plate, there are days where I'm really low. Like I do feel very sad and very overwhelmed, sometimes depressed. There's also another dimension that happens after having kids in terms of your hormones being out of whack and not being able to have much control over how you feel in any given moment. I mean, that happens once a month for most of us ladies.
No lies told.
So that, there's that dynamic that you have to deal with in terms of the hormonal shifts that you can't really feel control over. And in my head, a lot of like, why are you feeling this way? You shouldn't be feeling this way. Like, there's sun outside, there's birds in the sky. Like, amp yourself up, be positive. But there are those days where it's very difficult to come out of the sun.
Yeah. It's not always as easy as just talking yourself through it. Sometimes it's more than that.
Yeah.
I think you have it correct when you said, mental well-being, because that's really what mental health is. It's anything that impacts your mental state, your mental emotional state of being, which I think a lot of us tend to ignore, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to do this podcast, so that we could speak more about mental health and what impacts it. So for you, it's also having to wear all these hats and recognize that sometimes it's okay to not be okay. Yeah. And that, as you said, there's always tomorrow. But in terms of your self-care, because that is also a big piece of mental health, what do you do? Are you able to do anything with all these balls you have juggling in the air?
Exercise is important to me. I don't get to do it as I would like to. So I have periods where I'm very consistent, and then there are periods where I don't do anything for quite a long time. I'm in one of those periods right now.
Yes, I have not seen Fit Mom project videos in a little while.
I had some other things going on. What was your question again? You see, mental health. Jeez.
It happens. This is part of mental health, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes mid-sentence, you forget what you're talking about.
Exactly,
this is it.
Exactly. It's real. The struggle is real.
It is really real. Too real, it's dangerous.
Yes. So, I do love to have me some sweet stuff, but that's in balance. So I'm trying to balance that with healthy stuff, but the sweet stuff winning these days.
Yeah, boy.
But I think that there's a definite correlation for me in terms of when I'm feeling stressed and under the weather with eating sweet stuff. So that's something that I think people also need to be mindful of and to be able to be honest with themselves. So many a time my husband has cleaned out my little black bags that have his candy wrappers in, which I'm hoping that he won't see, which is why it's in a black bag, but he'll see it anyway because he's remembered to throw it out and I don't. I'll get catch.
Shout out to Jaron for being the candy police.
Outside of that massage, I get a massage every once in a while, not as regular as I should. And then I have many different creative outlets. So when I do get a little time, I would write, I would sing, I would do like arts and crafts, stuff like that.
I'm so glad that you brought up massage because it's kind of like when people ask me if I have a therapist, so they seem shocked when I say, yeah, I have a therapist. Because, why would you need a therapist? You know all about mental health. Why would you need a massage, Miss Magic Hands?
Well, if we look at it at a scientific level,
you better bring that doctor out.
Massage, increases blood flow. And within our blood, when we feel good and relax, our body secretes endorphins and serotonin, and those are really feel-good chemicals. It helps with inflammation and, easing pain, improving your circulation, and just general well-being. That's connect as well. I think in terms of what happens on the table, it's not just a physical thing. Mm-hmm. I think when you start touching people, because it's such an intimate setting, you kind of unlock a lot of emotions. So many times, people would cry, people would bear their all because they feel comfortable and safe in that space to release the things that are bothering them. So in that perspective, massage is really awesome for mental health and well-being. So getting one, like let's say every 6 weeks, 4 weeks to 6 weeks, just for general upkeep is recommended. And it's not something that I would like people to take away feeling like it's luxurious or something that's it's supposed to be when you just have like a birthday or, an occasion. It should be general upkeep because it was actually really integral in those days, those Roman days when, people would use the saunas and, massage was actually a critical part of that. I remember Bishop Harvey telling me once too that before you get baptized back in the day, they used to make sure and give you a full-on massage.
Is that so?
Yeah, that was a really nice little tidbit. Okay. So, there's so many dimensions and layers to touch and what touch can do. A lot of people, I believe as well, including myself, sometimes if I give touch, but I may not receive touch often. Yeah. And I think that it does quite a lot to be able to help you release your emotions and that tension and that kind of stuff.
But that's amazing. Yeah, I was not aware. I knew that there was, layers did because your physical health and your mental health are inextricably linked, which a lot of people are either unaware of or they ignore willfully. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to bring you onto the show, because I think it's important to stress this connection between how we feel, what we keep inside, because a lot of us don't realize how much we carry. And if we come and we have a massage, that's when you realize, oh, I've been carrying things in my neck or my shoulder, or, your back is in knots, and you're able to actually have that release and physically, as well as mentally and emotionally feel better because you're able to just kind of smooth those knots out and get rid of the stress from carrying whatever it is you're carrying.
Well, the fundamental, so massage stands on its own and it's a real powerhouse for that, being able to do the release and tone up your muscles and all that. But I'm a physiotherapist and a big part of what I do is treat so many different conditions that are pain related. And what I have realized over the years in terms of working with my patients, there is such a strong emotional component to physical pain. And I have literally started being able to map certain things. Like, you notice that somebody who has a lot on their shoulders tend to get shoulder pain. They say you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. Yes. So you find that these people with heavy burdens and responsibilities, they do this.
Yes.
Eventually what tends to happen is that you start bowing under the pressure and the weight of life, And that affects the neck muscles, it affects the shoulder muscles, it shortens the muscles in your chest, so you curl in, it tightens up your back, it weakens you, it affects your posture and your core, it affects your breathing. So to me, what happens is there's a lot of disconnect between what we do, how we do it, the effect that it has on us mentally. We end up like checking out.
Yes.
And we don't have that body-mind connection and awareness anymore. So for me, it's a lot about retraining people to make that connection and to understand, okay, so today you had 6 out of 10 pain, and the last time I saw you, it was 3 out of 10. What's going on around that pain? And most of the times people will be like, I didn't think about it, but I really had a stressful week.
Yeah. So I see you as a restorer in that sense. But a lot of people actually don't know what physiotherapists do. So maybe you could shed some light on that for us.
Oh, physio is such a dynamic profession. There's so much that you can do. But basically, we're movement specialists. We are trained to look at the body, do our little X-ray vision, see what's going on with you. So there's a little kink on your right side, a little symmetry there that we need to stretch out. But generally though, we look at, we assess the person, we assess their strengths, their weaknesses, balance, proprioception, coordination, all these different components. And then we take all that information and we see how we can help make it better. So it's about preventative care, it's about post-surgical care, pre and post-surgical care. So we take you throughout the entire process. It's about rehabilitation. So for people who have had injuries, people who have had strokes, traumatic brain injuries, these is the life. We hold your hand and we take you through, and it's also across the lifespan. So we work with babies and we work with the geriatric population from 0 to 100. So a lot of the times, though, people are very much aware of the orthopedic side of it, which deals with the muscles and the bones and the ligaments and the tendons. We're known for that. And for the neurological side of it, in terms of stroke rehab, but people aren't also aware that we're very much capable of doing cardiopulmonary rehabilitation. So that's all associated with lung conditions as well as the heart. So after heart surgery, we take you back up in terms of being able to get back to your normal daily life. So it's about making adaptations where you need to make it, as well as trying to get you back as close to what you would have had originally, or even upping the ante and improving your performance. So
literally anyone can be your client. This is not, you're not just for athletes or stroke victims. You are literally almost anyone can come see a physiotherapist.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is some good stuff. So we will definitely have your information about Physio Connect in our description. So you all can check that out if you want to find Gina and her magic hands. You heard her. It could be for anything. All right. You could just look at our description below.
We do take a doctor's referral if you're looking for physiotherapy, though. We prefer doctor referrals. But if you're having a massage, then we could still do a little, assessment and stuff, that kind of thing.
There you go. Right. So we will have her handle her socials for you, and where you can find PhysioConnect Limited. So Gina, you're welcome. What else is going on? Do you have anything coming up that you'd like to share with us in terms of you and PhysioConnect?
Oh, well, we are doing a Valentines promotion.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, we're doing some couples massages. It's actually something I never did. I never had a couples massage. I need to rectify that.
That's right, yeah. Mr. Romilly. Paging Mr. Romilly.
Okay. Paging. But it's been an idea in the making for a while. So we are looking into doing that promotion. We have different little packages, and because I found Valentine's Day is on a Monday this year, so it's a little bit of an odd day. So we're running the promotion for the entire week because love is not just for one day, right?
It's for a week apparently.
So, more than a week. But we have different packages. We have a hot stone massage, as solid as a rock, 2 bays, a massage and a scrub and dinner. One lucky couple gets that prize slot. There's CBD experience. So
hello.
Shout out to Slay Joseph because he's doing some amazing CBD cocktails, infusions for
Daya,
me.
Sule Daya.
Daya, sorry.
Yes, Hybrid TT. Hey.
Hybrid TT, yes. Thank you so much for the correction there. And we are doing something a little different because, I was talking to you the other day and you were saying, you want to create a memory. You want to have an experience.
Yes.
It's beyond the roses and the chocolates and that kind of thing right now. And I think because of the strain that we are in with the pandemic and COVID, people losing jobs and all of these different things, it's difficult for people. And I know even for me and my husband, it's very difficult sometimes for us to be able to connect. Like we can talk on the phone, but we very rarely see each other because we're in and out. Our schedules do that. So it's a nice opportunity to be able to hold hands and experience the gift and the power of touch.
I love that. Yes, I think that's beautiful. And again, just great for that mental health and wellness. And because of course we think about mental health in terms of our relationships as well. And sometimes for the health of a relationship, it's good to have those types of experiences that you can share and just kind of come together. So Gina, where can we find out more about these packages?
JL, I'm going to send that trailer to you, but you all can check out physio.connect on IG, Instagram, and at Connect Beyond TT, TT on Facebook.
Awesome. Right. So again, we will have that information will be in our description below. So if anybody needs to find it, it's there. And of course, when we advertise this beautiful episode, we'll definitely have those things for that information for people as well. So
I find it so interesting that you just talk about your relationship part of it. We need to do a segment for that. Yeah.
I know we do. We really do. I think, some people, just like, I guess anything else, you figure once you're married or you're together, then that's it. But you have to work at keeping the relationship upright. And sometimes even what's going on in the relationship impacts you, as an individual in terms of your mental health. And then sometimes what's going on with you as an individual impacts the health of the relationship. And we don't recognize those things. So if you're not okay, your relationship can't really be okay because you can't give what your partner needs. You can't be present to receive what they're giving. And if they're not giving you what you require, then you won't be okay outside of that. So everything is, I believe everything is integrated and everything is linked, no matter how we try to compartmentalize, because a lot of us do that. It's a survival instinct, I think, or rather a survival mechanism. How do I get through this day? I can't be thinking about what's happening in my relationship if I need to get through this day. So a lot of us just kind of put it in a box and shut off. But then when we need to come back on and take things out of the box, it's very difficult. So I think
guilty of that.
Are you?
I am. You just shelve it, you put it to the recesses, and then sometimes you might be mad, you might be upset, and time goes and you still know that you're mad and upset, but eventually you push it so far behind that layers and layers we build up. You don't even know what you're upset about months down the line, but then you may blow.
And then you blow up at something that has absolutely nothing to do with why you were upset in the first place.
Exactly. So I'm guilty of that. Sorry.
And the thing is to be aware, right? So you're aware of it and hopefully you'll be working on it. And that's the important thing. Because sometimes we have persons who say, they're aware of it, but this is me. This is who I am. Okay, well, is who you are helpful in this relationship or what is it doing? And those things aren't just relegated to only your romantic relationship. They go for your other relationships as well, your friendships, your work relationships, because again, everything is connected. So while we may show different levels of ourselves in those relationships, it's still you. Sorry, you were saying?
No, I was just agreeing with you, and I was saying that even with the relationship with yourself, because I think one of the detrimental things in terms of mental health is being able to get to that place where you can be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Like honesty
yes.
is a big thing, to be able to say, okay, I really am not in a good place, and be able to see it. And I think that is one of the things that has helped me tremendously. I think over the years, because I've been exposed, especially by beautiful people like you, it has been easy instead of taboo for me to recognize those points where I'm going down the deep end and I need to pull myself back in. But you need help. It's very difficult to do it on your own. So to be able to say, all right, this is not going too well, let me make an appointment.
Yeah. And it's a similar situation with the counseling, right? So I think I manage very well until I'm not, to put it mildly. So I actually have that sensation, you know, when you go into a pool or to the beach and you feel the water coming up, you can feel the water levels coming at different parts of your body. I know I need to see someone when I literally have the sensation at my neck. It's a very strange thing, but that's when I'm like, okay, it's too much and I have to, you know, so I try not to let it get to that point. So even if it's where I try to go, as you said, you know, for your general upkeep, if it's every 2 months or once a quarter, once I am not, I don't have too many stressors, I still try to go just to kind of manage whatever I'm dealing with. Because we also know a lot of people, as you rightly said, you know, we're in a pandemic and some people can't afford to come as often as you, being the professional, would like to see that. So you try to make it work the best that you can. So general upkeep, physically and mentally.
I think that's a key thing, J'elle, in terms of being able to feel the water rising and then say, whoops, let me pull out that drink out there and drink some of the water. And I think a lot of the times it gets lost in terms of what can I do to drink that water? What can I do to kind of dissipate the forces, basically? So sometimes for my patients, I literally say, you could do it like me. Sometimes I hide in the bathroom and I sniff a candle.
Yeah.
Like sometimes all you need is 5 minutes for that offsetting of that make or break moment.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Just take 5 minutes for yourself, take 5 minutes to breathe. Breathing is one key as well in terms of being able to kind of center yourself and raise your endorphins and lift your mood, because again, we are very disconnected with our breath.
Yes.
And it's interesting to me that right now, given what's going on with COVID, it's a breathing dysfunction, and I think we are more even susceptible to that because we're not breathing.
We're not breathing.
To the rat race, we go into the plantation, as J'elle and I say, and we do anything. And we all up here all the time.
Yeah.
And very rarely do we consciously sit back and say,
and do it properly. Because most of us, we breathe shallowly, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you breathe, somebody tells you take a deep breath, and it's just your shoulders going up and your stomach is empty. You know, we're not breathing the way we need to. So that's one of the things I do for self-care. I try to do a little yoga, and that has been very helpful, you know, with practicing to breathe properly. And then, of course, for a lot of my clients, I would recommend deep breathing to help with anxiety.
Awesome.
Right? So, because again, there's that connection between the physical and the emotional and the mental. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, this was amazing.
Take a breath. There's Sesame Street. Take a breath. Take a breath.
Smell a smell, sniff a sniff, take a breath. Oh my gosh, good times. I love Sesame Street so much. Classic Sesame Street, because today's Sesame Street.
Of course, my child will be watching this like, what?
Yeah, just you have to play those clips. They need to know what it is. If I can't sing along with your children to old school Sesame Street, what are you doing as a parent? What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah, gotta do better. Got to do better. So, Gina, we know that part of your being a friend to Chit Chat with 2 T's, you want to help our viewers and our listeners to relax. So tell us about what you would like to share with them as part of our 2 T's giveaway.
We're doing drum roll, please. A hot stone massage.
us, Gina, what does the hot stone massage entail?
It uses like stones, river stones, bust out stones, and we heat the stones and then we apply them during the massage. So it's ultra relaxing.
Oh my. So, ladies and gentlemen, and good for mental health. So we are bringing together the mental and the physical health, and Gina with Physio Connect Limited is willing to give away a hot stone massage.
You know what, JL? This is Chit Chatt with 2 T's.
It is Chit Chatt with 2 T's.
2 hot stone massages. Boom, shakalaka.
Okay, all right. So the generosity, see what's going on here, because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this hot stone massage has a value, and it ain't cheap.
Yo, Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage and the local stage, off the screen but on the scene. I want you guys to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can stay close to the actual factuals. We're doing giveaways all season long. But for the hot stone massage giveaway, we want you to follow Equilibre and Physio Connect on Instagram. Look for this post, and in the comments, tell us why you deserve some self-love this Valentine's. Or you can tag someone else and tell us why they deserve some love this Valentine's. But make sure they follow Equilibre and Physio Connect to qualify. We'll choose 2 winners, just 2 winners out of the comments, and this is for only 24 hours. So by Saturday, the 12th of February, we're going to pick those 2 winners and contact you guys to coordinate your Chit Chat with 2 T's hot stone massage, courtesy Physio Connect. Thanks for being a friend of Chit Chat.
Yeah, we're airing on the 11th, so you can check. You have until the 12th to make sure you get those names in. All right? Okay. So, I mean, Gina, again, thank you for being on our show today, and I hope that everybody will definitely look in our description so that you can check out Gina's socials and Physio Connect so you can get more information on her Valentine's Day couples packages, which will be running from Monday 14th, Gina, to Saturday 19th.
19th, yeah.
Right? Hopefully she still has slots for you by that time.
Fast.
You know, they're going fast. Gina, would you have anything on for singles?
Yeah. I was speaking to hubby about this yesterday because quite a few people are asking. So I'm actually considering doing 1 day for self-love.
I think that would be great because, it is a difficult time. Speaking from someone who thought she was going to be permanently single. It is Valentine's Day can be very rough. So I think it's nice to also encourage that, hey, loving yourself is a big part of it too. Do something nice for yourself besides drinking that entire bottle of wine and eating that entire box of chocolates. No judgment, none. But just something else you might want to do during that time. Yeah. So if you are doing something for singles, also let us know. So you'll have to keep up with Physio Connect to see what's gonna happen for the singles.
And just for stuff in the future, because at the end of the day, we know that movement is life, motion is lotion.
Hello.
And when we move, we break up all of that stagnant energy. We really pump all of that nice, nutritious blood and oxygenated blood to our heads, and we feel free, liberated, energized.
Yes.
And that's what physio. I think that's one of the beautiful things about what I do. You could see so much of a change in somebody when they realize that, hey, I don't need to be conquered by my fear to move or conquered by fear of pain and that kind of thing. And, just to be able to see them smile, especially if they were crying before.
Yes.
And to be able to just have a new lease on life. So,
you're a healer, you're a restorer.
God is good.
All the time. Amen.
He's the ultimate. Yeah.
Amen. So again, Gina, thank you for coming on and being with us today. We really appreciated having you. We hope you had a good time with us and that you'll be a friend of Chit Chat with 2 T's, and we'll see you again in the future.
I'm subscribed, y'all.
Yes. Make sure and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you'll get notifications whenever a new episode drops. And again, we want to say a special thank you to Marley Coffee for making sure that our 2 cups were filled, right, with this amazing product. So you all want to get yourself some Marley Coffee as well, retailing nationwide. Okay, and we'll have some more information on Marley Coffee coming up.
It tastes good even cold. No, it got cold. But
yeah, because I mean, we've been talking for a while.
Coffee. Yeah,
iced coffee, so you can have your iced Marley Coffee, right? So thank you again to the Marley Coffee team. We appreciate you for being a friend of Chit Chat with 2 T's. And again, to all of you, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Chit Chat with 2 T's, where we were discussing the mental health actual factuals. And if you want information on mental health resources, you can also see that in the description below for Equilibre Counseling and Consulting Services, which is my counseling and consulting company. And you can see that information below as well. So thank you. And until next time, we'll see you. Take good care and stay safe.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Bye.
Bye.
And see.